Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and to finally a new project. I moved into my new house. I've got my craft room sort of kind of set up, but enough to at least get going. So let me show you what we have. It's really fun. I enjoyed making it, even though it took me forever. It will not take you forever. It only took me a long time because of circumstances. But we are using, try and find a piece. We're using this that I just put down. Okay, here we go. And we are using Summer Market from Cartabella. And you will have seen it in my design team haul. And Simple Stories Color Vibe Textured Cardstock Kit in Light. And Artisan Cardstock in Craft. So what we have here is a well, it looks like a fairly large book, but it's not. You can see it's kind of thin. Its pages are, I believe, 7.5 by 9. I will double check. The book is 9.5 by 7.25, so the pages are 7 by 9. The spine is 1.25. It's held closed with this adorable red and white gingham check ribbon. All of your supplies are from Country Craft Creations. This is a design team project for Country Craft Creations. The cover is simple. It's so cute with these little campers, this layered cut apart, some fussy cuts, and some little flowers that we're going to make using just little strips of paper. When I made this, I had very little access to my supplies because they were packed and I was moving. So I thought I would do something that was easy and simple and didn't use a lot of supplies for my own circumstances, but also great for a beginner or somebody who just hasn't built up a whole collection and doesn't want to spend a lot of money. So let's open it up. What we have here is what I'm calling a scrapbook mini album. There are no flaps or pockets or anything at all on any of the pages. The only pockets are in the inside back cover. It's just scrapbook layout pages. So on the inside front cover is this big area for either a photo or journaling. Now there are side pocket openings, so you can make side pocket inserts if you want to. I have not, but certainly you could. And so again, here's one for a single photo layout, again with the fussy cuts. And this is a puffy sticker. I have the puffy stickers and use them for a couple of small photos. And you can, let me just grab a scrap here, slide a photo under that. Okay? Anywhere where something's overlapping or a photo goes, you can get the photo in. Here we have a fussy cut. I just used one of the cut aparts here, but you could put a photo there, of course. And then on this page, again, these are lifted up a little bit to give them some texture. I've got some of the puffy stickers and just some mats, another puffy sticker. And again, I think, did I glue these together? No, yeah, I didn't think I did. So you could get your photo there and then your other photo there. And here's some more of those little flowers like we did on the cover, and also some of the enamel dots from the collection. And a simple page for a couple of small photos. And then on the back, just more of the enamel dots, place for a photo, puffy sticker, and just a whole lot of little, I just forgot what they're called, flags, like the little flags. And then here's the only pocket in the whole book, which is just for your extra pictures. I just put the cut aparts in it, but it's just a little stacked pocket. And then on the back, we have this really pretty paper. And then it's held together again by this gingham ribbon. So really, really simple project, not at all difficult to make. And it shouldn't take you too long. The only reason it took me a long time is the whole moving situation. So there we go. All right, so I am going to start right in after this intro and get started. So we'll give me a second and I'll be right back and we'll get started with making this album. This is for Country Craft Creations. You will have just seen the walkthrough. And let me show you the collection. And we are using Summer Market from Cartabella. And as you've just seen, because you will have seen the walkthrough, we're doing something a little different, but I'm very excited about it. So let us get started. You're going to need 4 pages. I've already made 3. These are standard pocket pages. And the finished size is 7 by 9. Okay. So I have 3, and this is the 4th one. So I've taken, again, you'll have a cutting guide, but this one is 10 by 7, and it is scored at 1/2 inch and 9.5. Fold over and use your score tape. And then this one is 7 by 9, and we are just going to line up our corners. Okay, and whenever I do these, they're never perfectly flat because my pieces aren't perfectly cut. So I just lay them flat, give them a good burnish with my bone folder just to flatten them out. Here we go, 4 pages. So you know what to expect because you've already seen the like I said, you've already seen the walkthrough. Hang on, I need to get my trash because we all know what happens if I don't. My kitty will be all over those. Okay. So, what we're going to do is photo layouts, as you know, on each of the pages. So let's start with this page. And let's grab our paper. And the first thing that I want to do, I've got some of my little extras here. First thing I want to do is make the actual photo mat. So for this first page, I want to do one 4x6 photo. So for that, I need a mat that is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then we'll probably double or even triple mat that. So let's start with that. And I want to use, let's see, I've got this collection. We could use one of these as the base for the photo, or we could just use white or black. But this is summery, so I'm not going to use any black. So I'm thinking maybe a white photo mat, because not much of that is actually going to be seen. That's just to sort of indicate where your photo is going. So let me grab a piece. So here's a piece of my white. Let's cut that. And that'll be 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. This is white artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations, which is where all of my supplies came from. So 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. We just want this piece to kind of help us with our layout. And I'm going to try to make page layout grids or guides or something in the cutting guide. I don't know that I'll succeed, but I will attempt that. So keep an eye out for that. All right, so that's going to be our photo. And we could cut a piece of our colored cardstock, and I think we probably will, that's just a hair smaller so that only a little bit of that white shows. We'll get back to that. So what I want, because this is such a strong horizontal, we want a vertical. And I saw a page, and I'm sorry, I can't remember even where it was. It might have been, I don't know, it might have been a Graphic 45, where they used a stripe like this, and even though it has horizontal text, it was placed vertically, and that was very effective. But I don't think that's what I'm going to do, at least not with that one. I know there's that black and white stripe in here. We could take these lemons and put those vertically, that strong vertical stripe. That might look nice. Okay, let's think about that. I think that's what I want to do. Let's use that. I haven't really planned too much ahead. I'm just kind of winging it, which is what I like to do. I want this piece to be pretty wide. Let's say 3 inches. What's on the back of this? Okay. And it's 9 inches tall. Sorry, I just realized that where I'm actually working is more off screen than on. Let's just rearrange a little bit so you can see. Put these off to the side. So we have this piece, and we may need to, when we put it down, we may need to trim it because I'm not sure my thing is accurate. Now you could make a belly band or something like that, but again, my goal with this thing was to make something just to do photo layouts, just a book for photos. Okay, so I'm going to put that off center, as you can see, like that. And then maybe another vertical, something a little narrower, or a lot narrower. I feel like I want it to be pink. Okay, let's see. All right, so both of these, I have 2 pinks here that I could work with. I have this one, and I have this one's a little bit more reddish. Let's use this one. And I'm just gonna do a piece that is like quite narrow. Let's do 1 1/4. So we're going to put that one about there. I need to cut that down to 9, this one. And we're going to just put this underneath just to give us that little pop of color. Let's cut that down to 9. All right, so we're going to have something like that. We have our photo on top, like that. And then we're going to want a horizontal element. We could do one of the texts, or even one of the little stripes, maybe the little campers with the text below it. That would be pretty, maybe. Let's cut that piece out and play with that. And let's see, we need to cut that 7. We may play with this. It may not go the whole way across, but if it does, it needs to be 7 inches. I'm just going to adjust this so that I have as much of the text as I can. There we go. so we have that, and then we have this. And I feel like this is too wide for what I want. But we'll leave it for the moment, because we don't want everything square. So now we're going to want like some cut aparts or something. And if you have a die cut machine or a silhouette or something like that, you could use it to cut some of these, but I'm going to assume you don't and work with that premise that they need to be hand cut. So we want to go to this. So let's move this for the moment, and let's look at this page. I'm looking at this little piece here, and there's quite, I'm trying to see if there's anything that's larger. I mean, there's some larger clusters, but I think I want to start with this here. I hope you can see it. I'm going to start with this. We're going to cut that out, and then we'll play with that and see what else we want to add. Okay, so now we have that. And remember, anything we put down that's going to go over the photo has to be sort of floating so that it, so you can get your picture under it. So that might be a little fragile. We might need to take off some of these more fragile bits, but for now, let's leave that. I like that. And then right here we have these two little guys right along the edge that are kind of cut off. So let's take those as well. Okay, so there's that. Let's tuck that in behind just to give a little more. And actually, if we attach this to that, that might give it enough weight that it'll be okay. And maybe do the same over there with this other one. Okay. So if we tuck that one under there like that, you won't really see it, but it'll give a little bit more support to that. Then we could maybe just use the I was made for summer days part. So let me cut that off. So that could go underneath and across like that. Okay, now I'm starting to like what I'm seeing. That'll be under there, sort of like that. Okay, and then I feel like we probably want something maybe up here. All right, I'm gonna cut this one right here. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna cut that, and I'm going to cut, I'm also gonna cut this one right here. Okay. So we have, I'm thinking maybe putting this one behind and this one on top like that. That's pretty. All right, so then we just want another matte because I don't think I want that just plain white. And that will cut out of this. Pick one of these. Okay. No, I don't want peach. And I think that's too bubble gum. The yellow is nice because it picks up on the lemons. So I'll set that one over here because that's a maybe. I don't think I want that green. This green's really pretty, but it might blend too much with those leaves. And the same with the second green, so yellow it is. All right, so I cut that 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, so we're going to cut 4 1/8 by 6 1/8. Okay, and that is going to go on that one. So let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, so let me just put these aside, like that. My glue, This is art glitter glue. I am not inking. You can ink if you want, but I'm not. Okay. Okay, there's that. And for a baby wipe, there we go. All right, so then I think we might as well glue these down. And I'm just kind of eyeballing. And it is a hair long, so I'm just gonna trim a little bit off. Okay. And let's see this one. Yeah, same here. Probably give you measurements just to make it easy. I'm eyeballing, but all right, so you want to place, okay, so you want this one to have the right hand edge about 4.5 inches from the left, or 2.5 from the right. So we'll do that one first. Normally I would eyeball this, but to make it a little easier for you, I will go ahead and put my ruler down at 2.5. Just line that up and drop it down so that it is reasonably straight. Okay. And then you're just going to lay this one on top with however much of a reveal of the pink that you like. Okay. And I think I want it right about like there. And again, that was strictly a eyeball, what looks good to me measurement. Okay. Then we're going to decide, we want this right about there. I'll give you a measurement. So that's about 1 3/4 inches down from the top and centered side to side. But we have the one piece that's going to go under it, right? Just about there. So what I'm going to do is leave that there. It's not glued down, of course, or anything like that. We're going to glue this piece down. Okay. Just kind of lifting that up and putting that there. Okay. And that's the only piece that's going underneath, so now this can go down. And again, you're going to center this side to side. Nice and straight. Okay. then we have this piece, which you can put it like this, like all the way across. You could tear it, you could do it part way. I'm going to do it all the way across, but I am not going to glue it onto the mat. I'm only going to run glue on the bottom because you want to be able to get a photo, you know, a full 4x6 photo, and it needs to be able to fit under the edge of this. Okay, so let's do that. So we're just going to run glue along the bottom edge. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little less. And you just want to make sure when you lay it down that none of the glue is on your photo mat. Mine's a little long, so I'll maybe trim it. Again, you want to make sure it's straight. Mine's a little high on the right. There we go. Just like that. And I'll go in later with my scissors and just trim off any bits that are hanging over. So it's like that. Okay, so then we want this piece, and this is going to go underneath it a little bit, and that's going to get attached there. So we're kind of just getting an idea where the ones that are underneath are going to go. I'm going to lift that up. Okay, so this is going to go right there. Okay, and then let me just double check that one. So this one, it can be mostly glued, well, you know, this whole bottom area can be glued down because it's going to be glued to that strip and not to the background. Right there, like that. Okay. And then this, go like that. So I'm sort of eyeballing like how far up I can go with my glue, but I can always go back in and add some because I've got this narrow, you know, fine tip on my glue bottle. So let's do that, and then we'll go back in and add glue where we feel like we want it. Let's go right about there. Maybe we'll angle it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to go underneath. And again, we're not adding glue where it'll touch the photo mat, only, and I'm putting it actually on these base flowers. And we'll let this stick to that. Okay, now after you get a photo in here, you could go back and glue these down if you want. But in the meantime, they're just sort of floating. And then the last one we have is this one, which is going to go up here and hang over. So in this one, I can do most of the flower, most of the leaves. Let me just double check so. Okay, like up a little bit. Here we go. All right, that is really cute. And then if you want to, because you can have your photo, if you wanted, you could put like a die cut circle or something here for journaling. This is pretty white. You could journal here if you wanted to, but I think that's good. I'm going to call that done. I do need to trim a little bit off the edge, but I can do that later. All right, so there is page 1 of our traditional scrapbook mini album. All right, I'm going to take a little break, get some things together for page 2, and we will do that because I think, what time is it? We're up to 40 minutes, but with editing, I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want to just do 1 page per video and make them shorter, or do a longer video and do 2. Okay, so I am back. I'm going to continue on in the same video, so excuse me, decided not to close the video right then because I did lay out the second page and I don't think it's going to take very long for us to do. So I figured I might as well get that part done. So let me show you what I've decided. So I decided to lay this page out for 2 smaller photos. So let's just start at the base and work our way up with everything that we have here. So I'm going to fully mat the background on this one. So this is 6 3/4 wide by 8 3/4 tall. Okay. Then I cut 2 little photo mats from this green polka dot that are 2.5 by 3.5, and I have 2 of those. This was a scrap of the yellow left over from the other side, and it is 5 3/4 by a hair under 4 1/4. 4 1/4 would be good. And that's what's going to go under here, like this. And then I had this piece left from cutting the other side, and I cut it down so it just has the saying on it. And it is 4 by 2. And then I cut a piece of craft to mat it with that is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that's going to go there. Hey, Holly. There. And then I have, I don't know if you can see it because I have a little girl here. Don't step on the computer, honey, because it's recording sound for the video. Yeah. Yeah, that's Pam. Oh, she's got to lie down. Okay. Well, let me show you this, and then we'll take a minute and give her some snuggle time because that's what she likes. Okay, so this is a puffy sticker, which I glued to some craft and then fussy cut around it. So I'll be back in a moment as soon as she's had her snuggle time. All right, so somebody outside made a noise, so she's going to go see what that's all about. So there we go. Alrighty, now we've got cat hair everywhere. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. I'm going to set this aside for a second, and let's just assemble these little bits. I have a neighbor getting a new roof, so I'm going to apologize right now if you hear banging. I'm kind of surprised because today is Sunday and they worked all day yesterday. I was kind of surprised they're working on the weekend, but I guess the workers are taking whatever days they can get. And you could replace this with just a plain piece for journaling, or that little white stripe for journaling. That would be nice. Now these I'm kind of eyeballing where they go. You could measure if you want. I'm not going to. Book is a real departure for me because I come from kind of a, if you look at especially maybe videos from before the last 6 months even, and I still do it because I like it, is I make books that really don't take photos into account because I don't print a lot of photos and I don't really put photos in a lot of my books. A lot of the time I just make books because I want to make the book and I want to show off the beautiful paper, and I enjoy flipping through it just to see the paper. So for me, this was kind of a, the idea of making a book that was solely for the purpose of, I don't put that even, of displaying photos is a real departure. There we go. some of you, probably that's all you ever make, but for me, it's a departure. Okay. And I was going to do a recipe book. This paper really seemed, to lean that way. But then I thought, well, there's quite a few recipe books out there, and it doesn't preclude that I still might. And I was also going to use it in my planner, and I probably will. I'll probably use anything that's left over in my planner, which I will show you what I end up doing. But and that was my original project, was we were going to make a planner, I think, was what I was originally thinking of. But then I decided I wanted to do this idea, and I'm really happy with it. It's nice to do something a little different, at least different for me. All right, so we're going to go ahead and mat this. I'm going to check and make sure it's right side up. Check and make sure it's right side up before you glue yours down. Could have been a disaster. I've got little bits hanging over from the front that I've got to remember to trim. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this up centered side to side and towards the top, similar to what we did on the other side. And I used the solid yellow side, and I used the dotted side on the green. You could reverse that if you want. I'm not measuring, I'm just eyeballing. I just moved that down slightly because I wanted to see all of those berry baskets. Still have all my little bits left over from my fussy cut. Okay, and then we're going to center this below it. And I think I'm going to ink the edge on that just to make it stand out a little more. I'm using ground espresso. That's what I've got handy. There we go. You don't have to do that. I just felt like it was going to look better if I did. And again, eyeballing where that goes. Up a little bit. Go. All right. And then this, if you remember, I put it on cardstock because it's going to overhang just slightly over this photo mat. And actually it might, maybe I'll put it down low like that. Do I want it there? Do I want it up there? I think I'm gonna put it here. Okay. So you need to be able to slide a photo under it, right? So we're only gonna adhere it at the very corners. So we are just lining it up. It can overhang a little bit and just glue it down. There we go. And that way, when you have a photo, if I've got a scrap from Safari here, it'll slide right under there. Okay, that is cute. Okay, so we have 2 pages done. All right, and I am going to stop here, definitely. So we will come back next time and do 2 more at least, maybe more if I get them cut out. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're having fun with this project. And like, share, subscribe. All those things really help the channel. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, this is a design team project for Country Craft Creations, and you can get all your supplies there. And that's it. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.